In this case, she was very distracted.
Very distracted. You know, she was sexting.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never done it.
I know. I keep trying.
He's the dancer, not me.
See, I am the dancer. I'm so glad you finally
Hey, it's
admitted
Friday.
this.
We gotta dance, right?
Happy Friday, yeah. You didn't say we had to sing. That's just extra. That's what happens when you show up. You get the extra love.
That's right.
That's happy day.
Right?
Yeah. Happy day. How you feeling today?
I'm good.
Looking good? Looking really, really good. Yeah.
So.
How did you sleep last night?
Not good.
I didn't sleep good last night either. I had a lot of coffee because I was working at the coffee. I decided I would go somewhere different other than writing my books and doing these creative things in my office. Mm-hmm. I decided I would go to a wonderful coffee shop, our favorite one. Sorry that you weren't there.
Which one?
The Starbucks one where we get to act like we're millionaires.
Oh, yeah. We have 2 Starbucks here in the island.
But the one that we go to.
We're island people, you know.
Yeah, we are island people. Yeah, man. So the one that we go to though, we go to it because it's in a resort. And so we show up at a resort and we buy a Starbucks and then we just go into the resort and enjoy the facilities of pretty much everything except for having a room. And we don't go to the pool.
No, but I'm wondering if we could.
Yeah, we should.
Just put our towel over our...
Yeah, go to the cabana. Chop, young lad.
You were saying the other day when we were there, Donnie was saying that we needed to, maybe get some chairs because they have like these chairs already. You hand, I think your key to the guy. I don't know, or your name. You give him something. Whatever the boy is called. Well, he's a man. The cabana man.
But you get to call him a boy, which is like you get to demean him.
Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, I was drinking. I can't just sit there and use their internet. Like that I think is sometimes the difficulty when you use these other places as your office. You feel obligated to buy something.
Right.
And so I'm buying coffees and I'm just downing coffees until late in the day. And as we're winding down, we have like a family routine, that we've adjusted to. I get a call from an old friend, and we end up talking for a while, and that's great, except for that combined with all the caffeine just had me like.
Oh, last night you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were on that phone call for a while.
Despite he doesn't know that I normally charge the phone calls.
But, really? Okay.
Well, not with friends. Despite the fact that we have a purple mattress.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that thing works, honestly. Do you think it works? We've had it for about a month.
I want it to work because...
I think we want it to work. I think it's science.
No, it's fine. It feels good. It's very, very, you do feel like you're kind of on a cloud. And
a cloud?
Yeah, kind of like wrapped around the cloud.
This sounds like you're doing
I've never really lived on a cloud, but
it totally feels like a commercial. We
exactly
bought into, I think, if you ever like just look up purple mattress, they are, I don't know if it's really good or really bad, but they follow you around on these ads.
Oh yeah.
On YouTube and stuff. But they're hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
So I think I bought a bed because of hilarity.
No.
Science.
Well, our kids told us to get it. They're like, you guys need to get the purple mattress.
We love it.
Because they would see all the ads everywhere. And I'm like, when they told me this, I'm like, a purple mattress? What's that about? Anyway.
So I've got to confess, though, in the line of sleep, that there was an unauthorized purchase on our card.
What?
I got the perfect pillow.
Oh, when?
At least it claims it's the perfect pillow. And so,
God.
yeah, so this is live revelation right
so
here.
So he reveals his purchases.
It's a little bit, it's a little bit weird, but it's for the people who like sleep on their arm or sleep with their arm around somebody. Okay. And what it is it's like this tunnel, like, like almost like those cat play places that they have. It's like half of a it's round and it has memory foam over it.
So you.
And it has like these.
Okay, I'm picturing this pillow, and you have to stick your head in there, like
no,
like a cave.
not inside.
I'm picturing a cat house.
Okay, so the cave, it's like this. It goes like that, and so I can put my head on top of that. But also, there's a hole where I can put my arm through it, and my head's not resting on my arm. You will see.
I gotta figure.
It might just be the perfect pillow. I will do an unboxing.
Okay. Yeah, an unboxing.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Sleeping better. So tell us.
Oh, and I did buy something for myself, a duvet cover.
A duvet.
My comforter was getting a little spotted.
That sounds like something that only women are allowed to use.
Okay. Anyway.
So.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about some news. I know that you.
Okay. So on our thing, like we had a discussion the other day. Where like, okay, we need to have some sort of like, talking points to be more organized. And because, I don't know if you've been here the past couple days. Well, actually yesterday we did a live and it was so glitchy. It was just like, couldn't even hear our voice. Donnie didn't click the record button on our other camera.
Couldn't we just say someone? Did we have to say Donnie?
Okay. Well, you're the one that does the technology. So, so then that's gone. And I was like, darn, I can't post anything so this is episode 3 and 4. So but now we have some sort of talking point. So I'm your news girl. I'm going to be bringing your news, and my goal is to make you laugh with whatever news topic that I'm going to bring to the table. So today I was like, what am I going to talk about? So one thing that kind of made me laugh was kind of like, it kind of made me think like, okay, how do they even know this? But apparently when there's a high pollen count in the air, there are less crimes being committed. And it's because the criminals are actually reaching for tissue instead of their guns. And they said that's a research that was done. And I'm thinking like, how does that even happen? Like, how do they research? But apparently the criminals are just kind of like, I'm too tired to go out and shoot up people or steal. There's too much pollen in the air.
This is the thing. So
isn't that funny?
Yeah. So
it's just kind of crazy to me.
I wonder how we could deploy this. Like, can we deploy pollen stations maybe in high crime areas?
Okay, maybe.
More bees and more. I don't know. Can
we
do this?
Maybe.
Bill Gates should get on this.
I'm just thinking, like, who would, because somebody has to get the statistics of it. So it's like, what are they asking? Like, so they're like pull over a criminal.
Why are you not doing crime today?
Yeah. Or they're just in their confessions. Or like, I was tired.
I would have done a crime today. I would have done it yesterday, but there's eyes. Like this. That's interesting.
It's just funny. Anyway.
That's what you do with.
Oh, and I think I have another. So you know how they like the celebrities all get the sexual harassment. What's that guy that they came out with it saying that he was like picking up on girls and stuff?
James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco. And I was like, yeah, I kind of see him doing stuff like that.
I feel sleazy that I even know this. But I gotta admit, like he's
well, he kind of looks like that, right?
He's got the mustache.
Like he's pinching girls' butts or something.
He looks like he's doing this. Yeah.
He's like, hey, you want to practice the role?
Hey, come practice acting.
Yeah.
So,
I'm like, well, who's next?
So if you,
I could see him doing it.
Yeah, if you have enrolled in the Franco School of Acting, unless you wanted a nice pat on the butt, you might want to withdraw.
Yeah. Okay.
So, have you seen this? Botham gene stuff going on? Botham or Botham? I'm not sure how the guy's name is pronounced. So there was this guy, and we talked about it. He was accidentally, I say accidentally, a police officer.
Oh yeah,
thought she was coming into her own home.
Crazy.
And ends up hitting the 4th floor instead of the 3rd floor in the elevator. And because she's put herself in a mindless state, she ends up walking in to an apartment that's not hers, seeing someone that she doesn't recognize on what she perceives in the moment to be her couch, immediately pulling a gun and killing the guy. who's just eating ice cream on his own couch.
Right.
So sad thing. Obviously, like this woman has, according to what they say, she was being consumed by something. Her mind was in another place.
Right.
So it's almost like it shut off her periphery, sensory stuff.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, at least from what I've read, I don't know any of the people. I don't think that this is a racial thing, because like there's a lot about it, like white police officer shoots black man. I don't look at that. What I see though is I see someone who was so wrapped up in what's going on right here, and it's interesting how that can actually change your perception of reality.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side that I see on that is, did you see the video footage of the brother?
Yes, that was touching.
Oh, he forgives this lady,
touching.
and says, I forgive you, and I love you, like God forgives you if you ask, and I love you, and he gives her a hug, and there's just this sobbing, and it's like I'm getting chills, right now.
It was touching. But I guess the judge gave her a Bible or something.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a no-no.
But and I just heard it on the news that she got in trouble for that. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, I can understand. But did she do it during the court session, like during the proceedings? Like, here's a Bible.
I don't. Yeah, that's it. We need to open up a case.
Okay.
On that one. But I mean, I guess as I look at that, one of the things that I see is that we, as as individuals, as humans, we're constantly processing our situation. And the question is, I guess, like, that I ask is, like, what lens are you dropping in front of, between this little thinker back here in what you're seeing, what's actually happening.
Right.
Remember we were in the restaurant in Maine?
Mm-hmm.
And
you gotta remind me, because we've been in several
I know, lots of restaurants. So we were in a restaurant in Maine one day, and you were picking up this menu, and you were doing this and turning it different ways.
Yeah.
And then so I started reading the menu to you, and the waitress comes by, and she looked at us kind of funny, and I said, "Oh, she never learned to read." And that's just me playing, but you didn't have your glasses.
Well, I didn't. My little reader glasses. I always tell people, like, I'm like, oh, I forgot my glasses. So they're not thinking, because sometimes I'll hand them the whatever I'm looking at, to my kid, and I'm like, if Donnie's not around, and I'm like, what does that say?
People
are looking at me like, oh, poor mom.
Until I found you, I didn't realize that was a thing. So, like, Scooby-Doo fan, like, that was me growing up.
Okay.
You remember the girl with the glasses?
Yeah, Velma or something.
Velma. And she was always
Velma,
going, my glasses. That always happened.
Yeah.
And she basically got out of all the responsibility for doing anything. So.
That's where my crime watching stuff. I like those mystery stuff.
What is up with you?
I watch them on Hallmark now.
Gosh. And it's to the point.
Reporting thing that
but she will track us down, like, by clues that you see. Now we have in our house currently 8 suspects for any crime that's being committed, and there are always crimes being committed. there are felonies. There are people hurting each other, and we have the detective here who's putting things together. And
I do, but I like that.
Yeah,
so.
You do. But anyway, I guess when I see that, I think about the lens and
the lens of what?
Like how are we perceiving a situation? A lot of times when we look at something, we can be scared, and so that thing can cause us to react or to cover up, right? Okay. Or we can look at something as good or bad, and it's just like there's all these. So we translate what we see, but we might be missing the picture.
Right. Yeah.
Right. This lady walks in.
Right. In this case, she was very distracted.
Very distracted. She was sexting.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never done it.
I know. I keep trying.
I've I've never done it.
Yeah, the problem, well,
Sorry, babe.
I know. Well, one of the reasons is because sometimes the kids have your phone. So
Most of the time.
that can go badly,
Yeah.
right? If we're messaging each other, and the studio audience of our children says, "What?" But I guess it's like, what is it that we put in? Like, how, like, what do we do? What do you think we do to actually create our filter or our lens, our perception?
Our perception of just in general, right?
Mhm.
Just, well, we just, just take, I don't know, someone's, maybe we don't know them and we might judge them for something and they're not really like that. And, like, just think of like, oh, well, she's always, or he's always, right? And then that's not really the case, because we're just viewing it with this other lens of,
It's
well, judgmental lens, or just our own, the way we've been raised, and so we automatically assume something else,
yeah.
or I don't know.
I've heard, like, we were talking yesterday.
Meaning?
Yeah, and in the lost episode from yesterday.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit about Brene Brown's take on joy, and the idea is that that she was communicating is that when we are experiencing great amounts of joy, that or we're about to, or we just did, oftentimes our brain will bring up a negative situation,
Right.
and there is a but inside of us.
Yeah, right. And when I remember when you paused it, when you said, well, what do you think is the how does the story finish, right? So you have to add on it to it. Basically,
so the beginning of the story
was
is like,
here's this family
driving down the road.
It's like the perfect Christmas picture, right? Like driving down the road and the snow's falling and they're headed to the resort or wherever their vacation, and the kids are, the mom's putting on a Jingle Bells or whatever it is.
They start singing so loud.
They start singing, and it's just like the typical movie. It's like, so just the feel good, right?
What happens
So she
next?
says, Brene Brown's like, she's like, stops there and she goes, okay, so finish the story. What happens next? And it's so interesting because Donnie pauses it and he's like, well, what do you think happens? And I said, my thought goes, they get into a car accident. And I was like, but in my mind, I hadn't voiced it yet, but in my mind, I'm saying, get into a car accident. No, why do I have to think so not negative? Okay, I don't know. So I'm trying to find something good. And then Donnie's like, all right, let's continue listening. And so she says, why does everybody have to say they get into a car accident or they get hit by a truck or something, or the dad has a heart attack or, But, so we assume like the negative, and that's just so interesting to me because.
So the conclusion is like that there is a thermostat that we have, and that when we exceed that thermostat of joy, there's something in here that gets tripped. That we're like, oh, I'm not comfortable with this.
Right.
They're like, and I am not comfortable with this because something bad could come. And if something bad comes, I might not survive it. And so there's this thing inside of all of us that says, harshness, bad times, all of these difficulties, you will not get me. I will practice and rehearse you. And you will not surprise me. I will survive. And so it's just like that survivor mentality. That's a filter, right? That we have. And sometimes that's like running in the background. We're not even aware of stuff like that.
Right.
So just some interesting stuff. Listen, check what's going on here.
But it was, I know we got to stop soon, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So one last touch I wanted to say about that was, so it's basically talking about being vulnerable, and because we're so afraid to totally embrace happiness or joy or the goodness, that we in our minds are telling ourselves like we can't be this happy. There's no way that I can be this happy. And so we kind of shut something, or we put a wall up or something in our hearts that now we can't totally embrace that. And I personally am working on that, and in my own, in my heart, as far as like there's things in my life that I've realized that I've haven't embraced it totally fully. And so I just put up a wall, or I don't want to be vulnerable. And part of it, even doing this with us this morning, or in every day, our show.
Hey, it's been awesome hanging out with you. And of course, we're going to end with something funny, something positive. You got your music?
He has
music
the jokes.
I
He
got
has
that.
the
I
jokes
got
and
him.
the dances.
I got them.
Our kids, don't like this song anymore.
They hate it. So here we go. So I was at the bank the other day.
Wait, let's turn it down because I don't know if they can hear you.
Yeah, I was at the bank the other day, and an old woman asked me to help her check her balance.
Okay.
So I pushed her over.
Okay, thanks.
There you go. There was another lady that was in line, and I told her to stop drawing her eyebrows on.
Okay.
You know how they
Yeah.
She looked surprised.
She looked surprised.
And anyway, you'll get that later.
Get it.
So the positive thing is, listen, practice your filter today. I'm going to practice mine.
Yeah.
Put on some theme music. Do something that makes you feel just a little bit better. Convince yourself that things are good, not bad. Don't worry about the other shoe dropping. Don't worry about the traffic, all those things. Prepare, but listen, live in the moment, embrace the moment, and when you're in front of someone you care, take an extra second to breathe in, hug them for just 1 second longer, hold a hand, shake 1 second longer, be a little bit awkward, and take those moments of gratitude in for yourself. So those selfies and snapshots, and no sexting.
Right.
Right.
And it's Friday. So that's Friday. All right. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.